What if hope could find a voice in a place where all hope should be completely lost? Well, today, we're going to talk about a prayer that rises from just about the most impossible place you could ever imagine.
Just listen to this line from the ancient prophet Jonah. "Out of the belly of Sheol I cried, and you heard my voice." Sheol? That's the place of the dead. He's not just in a fish. He feels like he's in his own grave. And still, he says his voice was heard.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What does hope actually sound like when you've hit rock bottom? From a place that feels like the absolute definite end? That's the question we're really digging into today.
Okay, so let's just dive right into the story. We're in Jonah in chapter 2, and we're about to hear a prayer coming from a place where, honestly, there should only be silence.
And the way it's described, man, it is so visceral. You have to imagine it. Jonah is talking like he's already buried. He's literally wrapped in seaweed, sunk miles beneath the waves, and locked inside this giant fish. It's dark, it's suffocating. For all intents and purposes, it's over.
And yet, this is where everything pivots. From this place that, as the source material puts it, literally smells like the end, something completely unexpected happens. A voice of faith doesn't just whisper, it actually reaches all the way up from the deep.
Now, what's so powerful about Jonah's prayer is that it's not just a random cry for help. It actually reveals this incredible pattern. It's a story of a relentless downward spiral that's met by an even greater, more powerful truth.
Okay, so look at this. The entire prayer is built on this amazing tension. On one side, you have this constant descent. Jonah talks about going down into the sea, down to the roots of the mountains, down into Sheol itself. But, and this is the key, every single one of those downward movements is met and completely overcome by one single unmatched truth: the Lord hears. And this is just so important to get. From that depth, Jonah is utterly, completely helpless. He cannot save himself. He can't swim up. There's no way out. Jonah cannot climb his way back to God.
So, God reaches down. The rescue doesn't come from Jonah's effort. It is an act of pure grace. The source says God reaches down and brings his life up from the pit. The whole thing starts with God. But here's the thing. This incredible ancient story, this powerful pattern, it's not really just about Jonah and a big fish. The source material explains that it's actually a signpost pointing forward to a far greater descent and a far greater deliverance.
And this chart just lays it out so perfectly. Look at the parallels here. For the descent, you've got Jonah in the fish for 3 days, Christ was in the grave for 3 days. But here's the critical difference under the reason. Jonah was there because of his own rebellion. Christ was there because of our sin. And the deliverance? Wow. Jonah was brought up from the pit, Christ rose from a completely empty tomb.
That parallel is just so powerful, isn't it? Christ entered that deep, that Sheol, all the way. And just as Jonah left the fish behind on Easter morning, Jesus rose, leaving the grave totally and completely empty.
You know, this wasn't an easy concept to just wrap your head around, even for the people who were there. The Gospel of John shows the disciples literally running to the tomb, staring at the empty linen cloths, just trying to make sense of it all. The shock of resurrection is a very real thing. So this brings us to the ultimate point, the big so what of all this. What does the story of Jonah, seen through the lens of Jesus' resurrection, prove about hope for us, right here, right now? Jonah's prayer reveals something absolutely fundamental about God's character. His hearing isn't limited by our circumstances. His power isn't blocked by how far down we feel we've sunk. He has always been the master of impossible depths.
But it's the risen Christ who is the living, breathing proof of this truth. His resurrection proves that no grave is too sealed for him to open. No darkness is too thick for his light to penetrate. And yes, God still brings life out of places that, just like the belly of that fish, smell like the end.
So what does this mean for us, right now in our own lives? Well, the source material brings all of this incredible theology down to one single, powerfully simple action.
And here's the final thought I want to leave you with. Knowing that the God who heard Jonah has not lost his hearing, what is the one honest sentence you could pray from whatever deep place you might find yourself in today?